If your business isn't getting calls and inquiries and you think it's just about luck, you're dead wrong. Every year, hundreds of small business owners tell me when I work with them that it's just about being lucky with Google's algorithm. Well, here's the truth. Luck has nothing to do with it. Google's algorithm isn't random, it's not unpredictable, and it even shows you what to do. And if you do it, it will push your business to the top of the rankings. And that means you'll be flooded with calls and customer inquiries. But you know, most business owners never figure this out. And so they just stay invisible on Google Maps forever. So by the end of this video, you won't just understand why, you'll know exactly what to do next to make it happen for your business. So let's go through this step by step. So the first step is we just need to figure out why it is that you're not getting shown. Why is you're invisible? Why is that Google isn't promoting your business? And you need to just, in effect, verify that the Google algorithm isn't hating your business. It's actually been promoting it. It's just it's not been promoting it to the right people. And you can see where it's promoting it and what it particularly is responding to by going into your analytics. So go to your profile stats, log into your business profile, go to your stats, click on that number, and that will then take you through to the all-important area that's going to give you some clues. So now look at this chart and you'll see that it gives you some essential information because it tells you where the traffic comes from. And when you understand this and you turn on the tap, that's where your customers are. So it leaves you the question, are people finding you through search or through maps? Are they finding you on a desktop or on a mobile? And so that's step number one, is just get to know your clues, know where to find them. Okay, so now on to step number two. So when you look at Google Business Profile stats, you're in effect going to find out what your customers do to discover you. So every business gets discovered to some degree, but this is going to tell you exactly how they did this. And so you're going to see this kind of ring donut where it's going to give you one of four colours as a dominant colour. So are you blue, red, green or yellow? So have a look at yours and see which one it is, because this is where your clues are. So before we go any further, let me know in the comments below what colour you had as a dominant colour for your business profile. Okay, but so what does it all mean then, these four colours? Well, let's break this down so that we understand what it means you need to do depending on what colour you have. So let's take the first one. If you were, say, green, so if that was a dominant colour on your donut ring, what does that actually mean for you? So it means a group of people are looking on Google Maps and they're finding you on their computer. Okay, so what does that actually mean you need to do? Well, just check that your pin on the map shows your exact location because they're potentially going to visit you. So make sure you've got clear directions on your website, that it's easy to find you. Check and get others to check to make sure that you've got it located correctly. And then post appealing pictures of your business. And I think it's fair to say that a lot of people will go to their desktop when they're thinking about making a purchase, whereas they go to their mobile when they're just trying to locate somewhere. Now, before I explain what the blue, the red and the yellow are, which is maybe the colours you've got, don't forget I've got a guide and I give this to my members, but I'm going to let you download it for free. So when you go and put your colour, also pick up this guide. It'll be there as a link and you can download it to your inbox. Okay, so what about if you've got blue as a dominant colour? Well, this means you've got your desktop, so your customers are using desktops or their laptops to find your business, and they're doing so through Google search. And that again may mean that as they're on a desktop, they're planning on visiting your business soon. So what should you do? Well, again, make sure your directions are correct, but also make sure your prices on your website and where you mention your offers, make sure they're correct too. Write interesting blogs and posts and make sure that you've got services and tips, but always add professional looking photos as well of your business and your team. So what about if they have it as predominantly red? Well, that means that they've been looking on a mobile, but they've been going to Google Maps. And the nice thing is it means they're probably quite local to you, because if it's being found on the maps, it's more likely on a mobile that it's using a local address to find you. So what can you do then to encourage them to actually interact with your business? Well, I would add a location or mention locations in your listings that they're familiar with because they're a local person. So if you can have photographs and show something that's local to you in the vicinity, they would recognise that. And that would build trust because they would know then that you are a local business based on what they see or the landmarks that you mention. Offer special deals for those that visit you locally, maybe a local deal, and just make sure your directions to your business are correct. Or if you're a service, mention some areas that you cover. Now, for the majority of businesses that I've worked with, they seem to have yellow as the main dominant colour. So if that's your case, what do you need to do and what does it mean? Well, yellow means that they're finding you on a mobile, but they're doing it through Google search. So in effect, they're going on their phone, they're doing a search for a local business, they're finding on their mobile, in the search results, they're finding your business. So the biggest problem people have is they don't check to see whether their website and their links actually load well on a mobile. Now, I'm not talking about it loading on a mobile in 5 or 10 seconds, but actually you want it to load within a second or two, because people on a mobile don't hang around. If they do a search for your business and the top 3 comes up and you're one of those top 3, if the competitor's website loads within a second or two and yours takes 5 to 10 seconds to load, you'll find they won't do business with you. So you can check to see whether your business loads fast using page speed, which is a tool that Google offers. You can add buttons that makes it easy to use, so make sure the buttons are tested on your mobile and that those buttons work. And then of course keep your business profile updated so that it can offer some useful images and events that are local to them too. So what are we saying? Step 2 is just keep your visitors in mind. It was a long step, but now you understand exactly how they're finding you. You can now turn the tap on and you'll know what to do next. And so now we're ready for step number 3. So to avoid the mistake that many business owners make, I want to tell you about a Zoom call I had the other day with a client. And he said that his business had just disappeared overnight. He'd been getting 5-star reviews, he'd be replying to them regularly and using all the keywords in his replies as he spoke to his customers. But he was missing a really important trick. You know, he hadn't posted content for years on his profile. So he was very active with his reviews, but no content was being posted. It was just mouldy old information. So I told him to publish events, do promotions, do offers, put some new products up, put a post that's actually going to engage his clients and customers. But he still said, why? I don't need to do that. And I explained to him, look, Google is looking for businesses and business owners that are keeping their information up to date. When you put a new post or an offer, it's letting Google know that you've got fresh content, and it immediately will give it a bit of a boost in rankings. So there's my step 3, is just keep posting regular content, useful content. Now step 4 is going to be really important in the coming year because we know AI is now fully grown. It's now really fully getting involved in all the interactions of businesses on search, on Google. So with AI being that important, what do you need to do? Well, Google's getting worried that it doesn't actually have things right. It's serving up results, but it's quite insecure about what it's doing. And AI is making it think twice. Let me explain. If you have a teenager, maybe the teenager is quite insecure in what they're wearing when they're going out. So they say to you, do I look okay in this? You go, yeah. No. Do I look okay in this? Is it really okay? Am I okay? You go, yeah. And 3 seconds later, do I look okay before I go out? I've just told you, you look fine. That type of insecurity, that lack of trust, that worrying about what you look like is actually how Google feels, because Google looks around and thinks it understands where businesses should be ranked, but it needs to have some security behind it. So what does it do? Well, it goes to Yelp, it goes to Facebook, it goes to your accounts and your citations, it goes to your references and just says, is this the right number? Are these the right opening hours? Have I got everything right about the website? Is this the right Facebook account? And it keeps asking questions because it feels that it might just have something wrong. And so this means that consistency will build trust. Google rewards consistency. So your location data, your hours, your photos, your business name, they should all be consistent across all platforms. And so that's step number 4. When you build consistency, you build trust with Google. And Google likes that. Now for step number 5, I'd say that ranking in Google is a bit like a sport, really. I mean, most football teams or soccer teams will know that when they compete against someone, If they're competing against a big competitor, they're going to have to put some extra work in. They'll have to do extra training. They're going to do their research to know what tactics can they use to beat the opposition. But if you've got no opposition, and if it's really easy, well, then you probably don't need to put so much work in. Now, most people realise that they're in competitive businesses. When they put their category, their primary category into Google, in effect, they're going into this big competition, this big kind of cup final against all the other teams too. So if you don't research your opposition, if you don't know what your competitors are doing, how do you expect to compete against them? How do you expect to know their weaknesses? How can you outrank them if you don't know what they're not doing? And that's where it's really key to make sure you understand what your competition is doing. So what I would suggest you do is do a search, maybe in incognito mode, but do a search and see what else comes up, because that's what your customers are seeing. And if you're not standing out, if you're not doing offers, if you're not doing something different to the opposition, well, are you going to beat them? So to help you to do that, to help you to beat them, I've got 25 tips that I'm using this year that are having a great effect on businesses that I help. And I'm going to share them with you in this video here. So 25 tips that are going to help you rank, and they're really easy to do. So head over to this video and I'll help you do that there. I'll see you there.